Welcome back, Arcadians, people of the world, to the 10 Pence Arcade Podcast, number 207. Wow. And this week, again, I'm joined by my lovely host, Mr. Shaun Holly. How you doing, Shaun?
I'm doing all right, mate. Yeah, I'm doing all right. How are you? You doing okay?
Yeah, busy as always, mate, especially this time of year with Christmas coming up. There's a lot going on. Yeah. You know, just planning ahead, family, friends coming over, visiting, all that kind of stuff. Are you got your decorations up yet, mate?
We don't really do much decoration. Now the lad's grown up and we're not bothered. We just have a bit of tinsel, a little tree.
Bit of mistletoe?
A bit of mistletoe. I'm a holly, aren't I? But I've got to get a holly bush.
Oh, you got to get a holly bush, yeah.
Yeah, I have a holly bush.
Yeah.
I try and kiss the neighbours under it, but none of them are having it.
No.
Especially the younger ones.
You got to hand them a mince pie and then give them a big smackaroonie.
I'll try that with the woman over the road. She's quite fit. I'll try that. I don't know what her husband will say, but there you go.
No, yeah, well, he's probably worried about you doing all that martial arts and stuff. He probably thinks you're a bit of a hardener.
Also, we've had a interruption to the podcast. I asked my old podcast host Victor Marland what he thought of the show, and could he endorse it for us? And this is what he said.
Just say what you think.
I do not approve of the new 10 Pence Arcade Podcast. I'm going to start my own podcast. It's going to be called the 11 Pence.
Victor Marland does approve this podcast. Go on, say it again, Vic.
Absolutely not. No. In fact, you can't be trusted. I'm taking it back.
There you go, okay, thank you.
That's the best you're going to get from Mr. Marland, I think.
It is. I think he improves, really. Well, he's been let out of the dungeon recently, isn't he? Because he turned up the vac meet. Oh, it's good to see Vic.
Yeah, talking about the vac meet. Do you want to go for this one? This is your baby, isn't it? You organised a VAC. That's the UK Video Arcade Collectors Forum. Get on that on the 23rd of November. So it's a few weeks ago. You got about 40 VACers together. And what happened? What happened, young man?
What happened?
Yeah.
What do you mean? What happened? We played games.
Yeah, we played games. Had a massive photo. I put this photo on the website. Actually, it's a brilliant photo.
It is a brilliant photo. I was surprised, to be honest with you, because it was an off the cuff kind of let's just do a meet. It was no planning whatsoever, and obviously I put it on the UKVAC forum, and I just noticed lots of people interacting with each other, and I don't know who it was, but someone organised lanyards, and I'd like to thank him for that, because I didn't know who that was.
Mr. Funk.
Mr. Funk. Is he in that picture?
Is he in the picture? He is.
Is he?
Yeah.
Where is he in that picture?
I can't zoom in on this phone.
Oh.
He's in it somewhere.
Oh, okay. Well, Mr. Funk, thank you so much for that, because I wasn't very well organised, and I didn't know how many people were going to come, to be honest with you, if any. And it was just unbelievable. It was a lovely surprise to see so many people there, new and old faces. It was great to see new faces, actually, people getting into the hobby. We want to keep this hobby alive, right, Shaun? You know?
Yeah, we do.
Because, people do come and go, life gets in the way, my old saying, and people change hobbies as well. They get out of it, and it's not the easiest hobby to be in. I mean, you don't really necessarily have to own a cabinet to take part in the hobby or enjoy the hobby or be part of the community even. But, most of us probably do have them, and they're not the easiest things to keep. They take up so much space. So I imagine for a lot of people, the hobby's a difficult thing to keep going unless you've got that space. So it is nice to see new faces, great turnout. It really, really was. I mean, I got up there for about 1 o'clock, I think it was. And it was 3 o'clock, because I'd arranged for a photo opportunity in the car park, and it was absolutely pouring down. Do you remember?
Yeah, yeah.
And then I literally just got there. I was soaking wet, and everyone's going, "We're having a photo opportunity." I was like, "I've just got here. Can I just get a drink and everything?" And then that time had passed. I'd missed that boat had sailed, and everyone was just off doing their own thing. So I do apologise for that. But we did get a photo opportunity later on in the day, and that's that picture there, which you can see on UKVAC. It was an incredible day. We had a great fun, didn't we? Did a video on the channel, which I thought was good.
Yeah, me and you did a walk around. Do you know, it's a bit of symmetry, would you call it? When you was handing over the podcast to me,
Yeah.
we did a walk round of play Blackpool together.
Did we?
That was October 2014, so almost like 10 years to the day.
That's amazing.
Yeah, so you did a walk around, and this is the new co-host, and then you went off. I think it was Nintendo Arcade you went to do, didn't you?
Yeah.
Mostly. So you went off to do that. So that's 10 years, you know, almost to the day. Isn't that weird?
Incredible. Yeah. And that was Play
Expo Blackpool.
Play Expo.
Yeah.
Well, I don't think I've ever done a walk round at Arcade Club in Bury. And to be honest with you, I haven't been up there for 3 years. So for me, it was actually quite exciting to see how much it changed. I'm glad to say that the top floor, the classic floor, hasn't changed much at all, because I think that is perfection what he's got up there. You know, he's got those electrical and Goliaths with all those games that we used to play in the fish and chip shop, our local arcade.
Yeah.
And then you've got some really obscure stuff like the Space Tactics. Did you play in that one, Shaun?
Not on the day. I have done when it first appeared at Arcade Club a few months ago. And I was just confused by it. It's a bit strange. It takes a few goes to get going because it's a move.
Yes.
The actual monitor moves on a like a leverage system, doesn't it?
Yeah. I'd love to see inside that cabinet just to see what is going on, because I couldn't work out what was going on. You know, like you say, it's a bit disorientating at first, isn't it? You think, what the hell's going along? And it's I'll say a strange game. It felt like Space Invaders, but you're also defending as well. So it was kind of like a tower defense game, you know, like Missile Command, where you're trying to protect your bases. So it was kind of like a cross between the two. But you sat in this cockpit, so this is a cockpit, you sit in it, you got these amazing controls that felt like a prop out of a Star Wars movie. They felt so authentic, you know, and old and solid metal controllers.
Yeah.
That you'd find on a proper aeroplane. Do you know what I mean? They were just so solid. And it was an experience. It took me totally out of the arcade club, and I was just totally immersed in this game. But I did struggle to work out what I was doing. But the sounds, the half mirror and everything was just incredible machine. So that was really cool to see, as well as a lot of the American cabs. There's a lot of cabs he's got in there that we didn't get over here. Food Fight springs to mind. I mean, that was definitely a US cab only, I reckon. But yeah, beautiful cabinet, fantastic game, as well as all the other dedicated cabs like the Mooncrester that I played. I don't remember seeing a dedicated of that back in the day, but we would have played that in a cocktail maybe, or a jammer cab, something like that here in the UK. So he's got some fantastic dedicated machines. He really has. I actually quite enjoyed playing Spy Hunter again, because I've been watching Danny Frothmeister play that. He's a whiz on that game.
I watched him for a few minutes, at the club,
Yeah, isn't he just unbelievable? That is not hard. That's not an easy game to get into. It's a bit like Defender. You know, you can't expect much of it just from a couple of goes. But that's how it was back in the day. You know, you had a couple of 10Ps, you got a couple of goes, and you probably walked away thinking that is way too hard. But, you know, if it's in your collection, you can put the time into it, and obviously he has, because I think he's got the cockpit version, and he's just extraordinary at that game. Incredible game, and it's just great. It's one of those games that I actually quite enjoy watching other people play. So that was really cool. What did you play, Shaun? Did you play anything memorable?
I played Solar Fox a lot. I got well back into Solar Fox. It's such a good game. I was saying to Mr. 20 to 5, who finally beat me on the scores, but I think I got like 300,000 on it when we were playing on the podcast.
Yeah.
But it's a beautiful cab. It's amazing looking. It's got so much going on. It's got that flight, you could call it a flight stick sort of thing, like a Tron kind of thing. It's got that going on. And I find that more difficult to use than a standard joystick. So when we did it as a podcast game, I was playing it on my cab, and I put my cab to 4-way, and I was getting a better score than I did on the actual physical, on the normal cab, just on a candy cab with like a Samoa. So, But and also Godzilla I played a lot as well, the pinball.
Yeah. Well, when we did the walk round video, we showcased it, or we showed it in the video, didn't we? The Solar Fox, because it's got that UV reflective artwork and the half mirror, and it's just one of those cabinets that just you look at it and you just think it's just the work that's gone into it. It's just incredible to entice people into play a game. It's amazing. Godzilla, I have played Godzilla. Not my thing, I have to admit. But that is one of the latest pins, isn't it? There's a lot going on in that game.
Yeah, they've just released a 70th anniversary. So another Godzilla pinball. Yeah, but that's a favourite among pinheads, Godzilla, because it's so well designed. Yeah, played that a lot, and that's about it. Did a lot of talking. What else did I play? I dipped in and out of stuff. But yeah, what a great day that was.
It was. Really, really enjoyable. What else did you get up to? Anything else? Oh, you went to Arcade Club Leeds, didn't you?
I did. Yeah. On the 6th of December, so only last week as we record this, only 2 weeks ago. I love the layout of it. The condition of the games is just spotless. They've extended the restaurant area, because that was always a poor point for Arcade Club Leeds, because there's only a few tables. But they've sort of gone through to the building to the left of them as you look at it. So that is now a big restaurant. So it's got more than enough room for 50, 60 people to sit down and eat. So that's good.
Yeah.
So
and what's the game? Do they have like a classic area there, or is they all mixed up?
On the mezzanine floor, which is you've got ground floor, first floor, and then you've got like another room with like fighting games and the VR in. And on the mezzanine floor, the first floor is all the retro stuff. Most of it is, some of it's dotted around, but it's just really well put together. I've done a video. I'll put a link in, and like all the fighters, like they've done it by say Midway. So you've got like Bosconian, Gallagher, Galaxian, Rally X, that all in one row.
Yeah,
and then
amazing.
You've got like all the Operation Wolf games together. You got all the Street Fighters together in a room. You've got all the Williams together in a couple of rows. I think they're even the ones like Moon Patrol. That was a Williams did release it. I know it was an IRM thing, but Williams did release a version of it. Do
you like it when they're? Do you like them when they're all kind of regimented like that, put together, or do you prefer mixed up the cabinets?
No, I like
because back in the day they would have been all mixed up, wouldn't they? It would have been there for you to discover.
Yeah, like the Pac-Man row was like even had Baby Pac-Man in it. You know that pinball. That weird pinball game hybrid. I played that, and it's quite easy to play for ages. But it's that's not brilliant. But I like that. I like how it's done. I think FunSpot do it as well. In is it Orlando? I'm not sure. Yeah, I think they do that as well. But
they have like a Nintendo row, don't they, and a Williams row.
Yeah, there was a Atari Vector row. That was amazing. Just that row.
Yeah.
Like,
but that does look incredible.
Yeah, I put a video up, so I put a link in the show notes.
Oh, cool! I'll watch that.
And
I've been busy moving my mum out. She moved from London, from her London home to Ringwood. Now, it was quite a big thing for my mum because she's been there, well, I wouldn't say all her life because she obviously married my dad and we had a family home, but she was there as a child and her parents were in that house in Feltham in London. So it was quite a big thing because she grew up in that house and her parents had that house before her. So she moved out at 76 down to Ringwood. And yeah, it's quite big for, my mum to do that. And I helped her move down. It took me 3 trips down to Ringwood. But yeah, she's moved into a lovely little cottage down there. She's really happy. And because I was really worried that there'd be something wrong with it or not very nice neighbours. You worry about all these sort of things, but she's settled in really well. So I'm really chuffed with my mum. So yeah, I've been busy with that a lot. And also I went to a private meet last Saturday. I think I showed you the pictures.
Yeah.
I got invited to this. I didn't know the owner of this private arcade, but I got invited down with Ol. And I walked in this room and it was just unbelievable. I mean, it felt like it was the length of a swimming pool. It was just one long room and it was just one long row of pinball machines. And most of them I'd never even seen before. So it just blew me away. I've never seen so many pins like that in a private arcade. It was absolutely incredible. Unfortunately, I didn't have that much time there. I had a couple of hours, but managed to play quite a few. But yeah, incredible. Black Hole was the one that stood out the most for me, which has got like a moving back glass. So it kind of moves around like a black hole spinning around in space. And then if you look, it's got like a second player field below the main play field. So it's a piece of glass and you're looking down again into like a subfloor of the pinball. Oh, right. So, and the ball goes down there. It all gets kind of like 2 different layers to the game. It's just the sound effects. It sounded, like, I don't know who done it. Is it a Williams game? I'm not quite sure. I'm not up on my pinballs. I'm really not. But it sounded really retro. That's what it sounded like. Bride of Pinbot. It had that kind of robotic, kind of metallic feel about the game. The sound effects, like an early Mega Drive sound chip.
Yeah,
super cool, really cool. So yeah, that's pretty much me, mate. That's what I've been up to, as well as sorting out my games room. Still got games down, not working. Tidying it up and.
Oh yeah, one more bit of Arcade Club Leeds. Me and Jimmy, he's Jimmy, we thought, right, we'll go around the retro floor and play a game that neither of us has played. We couldn't find anything because we played loads of stuff. And we found Super Puzzle Fighter 2 Turbo. So both of us had never played that. And
is that like Tetris or something?
No, it's like a Puyo Puyo sort of droppy thing. And Super Contra, which we'd never played, and a Double Dragon 2, which we'd both never played, but we didn't get around to playing that. But there's only like 3 games on the whole floor. We had a look. Neither of us had played.
Well,
that's good. That's dedication, isn't it? Anyway,
that is dedication.
Yeah, we've got some sad news here in the scene. John Budd has sadly passed away about a couple of weeks ago. Not sure the details, but he's been ill for a while. So our thoughts are with him. He was a legend in the community and such a character, wasn't he?
He was. Many times.
Yeah, me too. There's so many stories.
He was into his shmups, wasn't he? His bullet hells and stuff. I remember him at retro games parties. Party he had, you remember? And he had a couple of candy cabs there, and he was just showing me how to play bullet hells. I mean, I still never got into them, but I found it quite interesting that he was into them. He absolutely loved them. But yeah, he was a real character. Everyone knew him in the community, and it's just really sad to see someone. We're getting old now. Unfortunately, it's just what's going to happen as you get older. Seeing people sort of slowly pass away.
Yeah.
But yeah, rest in peace, John Budd. What a character.
Yeah. Loads of stories I could tell, but
Yeah.
That would be another full podcast, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right. Back onto Mr. Marland.
Oh, yeah. What's he been up
He's
to?
not had enough with insulting us. He's been on his Substack. I always check what he's doing, and he's built a little mini Invaders cab, like a wooden cab with an Invaders PCB, I think, in it, or some kind of emulation. And
a scaled down upright cabinet?
No, like a bar top kind of thing. Sorry.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I did look at it a while ago and I forgot. So I put a link in. It's in 2 parts, and he goes into good detail about joysticks and how it wouldn't fit in first time. So he had to sort of make sort of alterations to the cabinet design to fit it all in. But yeah, obviously he's got it working. It's Space Invaders in a mini cab, mini Invaders. So Substack, get on Substack if you're a creative person, because that's such a good little forum, website, app. All of them. Yeah, it's good.
Ever since I've known Vic, he's always created something or other. I remember him creating a little Pong machine, which was really cool. Do you remember that? He did a little Pong.
Yeah, he talked about that recently, yeah.
Yeah, it was really cool. Right, arcade news.
Arcade news.
There is a new Neo Geo shmup called Project Neon, which I've actually ordered.
Have you?
I ordered it. Yeah, I ordered it months and months ago, and I got an email last week saying it was shipped, and I was hoping I would have had it in my hands for the podcast, but I don't, unfortunately, to talk about it. It's quite an unusual looking game. It looks like a tower plan game. Very bright, colourful graphics.
Big bullets,
Big bullets. Great soundtrack. Soundtrack is awesome. But you can play this in vertical or horizontal mode, which is quite weird because it's a Neo Geo game. So most games Neo Geo are horizontal. They're to fit in a horizontal monitor, aren't they? In a Neo Geo cab. But they were advertising this as a vertical game, but then they said, well, actually, if you want to play it as a horizontal cabinet, you can. There's something in the settings it just plays horizontally and it swaps everything around. So I don't know if the high score and everything swaps around, but all the enemies and the ship, so it just plays like a horizontal game as well as vertically, which is incredible. I've never seen a game do that before. Have you?
You see, like, things that do that, that go horizontal and vertical. Like Salamander and
but
side
not
arms
a Neo
and stuff.
Geo game.
No, definitely not. No, but something when I was looking at that, they were saying Tate, which is vertical, and Yoko, which is horizontal. I never knew that. YOKO is what the Japanese call a horizontal game. So you've got Tate, which is vertical.
Yeah.
And Yoko, as in Yoko Ono.
Yeah.
I don't know if she had anything to do with it. I don't.
So where does that come from? Is Tate Japanese as well then?
Yeah, Tate's vertical, or Tate as we call it, and Yoko means horizontal. I looked it up, and it's true. Yeah.
I'll just stick with vertical and horizontal.
Well, yeah.
Because I end up Tate sounds like tartar sauce.
It might be. I think it's Tate. It's spelled Tate, but I think they call Tate. That's Japanese. Yoko Ono. She sings. Wow. Yeah, sorry, go on.
Yeah. It's vertical and a horizontal game, yeah. And then what's the next one then, Shaun?
Pac-Man game, Shadow Labyrinth. This is...
Oh, yes! I saw that.
It's spooking up the Pac-Man community. It's a Metroidvania. It's sort of a dark thing. And you've got a little Pac-Man, like familiar, like behind you. And you get the Pac-Man sounds. It's bizarre, I think.
I think, Shaun, it is the best Pac-Man game ever made. And I haven't even played it yet. Because there's no mazes.
There is little bits. There is little bits. But I think they're like part of
I've seen it looks super cool. And I'm a big fan of Metroid type games,
Yeah.
Castlevania games. And what I've seen of it looks amazing. I definitely want to play that.
So better than Pac-Man, then, you say?
Oh, definitely. I've never been a fan of Pac-Man. Even when I was a kid, I never liked Pac-Man. Just one of those games I never gelled with. So for them to do that, it looks amazing. Best Pac-Man game ever, and I haven't even played it.
What about Miss Pac-Man? Miss Pac-Man Speed Up. Everyone loves that. No. Pac-Mania. You can jump on Pac-Mania.
I think Ladybug's better.
Ladybug. Oh, I didn't like that.
Didn't you?
No.
No, I like Ladybug.
With the moving the gates and that.
Yeah, no, it's cool.
And talking of Pac-Man as well, this is bizarre. It's called, if you the website pacmanlive.co.uk, you go on there and it's like a big kind of a warehouse. It made into a Pac-Man maze, and you've got to run round, dodge the ghosts. I think they can't be real ghosts, can they? Not unless they've got them.
What, you've actually got to run round
the maze with a big sort of sign on your front. I don't know what that's. I'll have to look. Hang on, I'm going to have a look now.
Sounds like money for old rope for someone, whoever's made that. Anyone could just set up a warehouse, couldn't they, and draw some lines in it, a maze, and just call it Pac-Man Live. Get them running round. Get someone to dress up as a big ghost.
Can you see that?
Yeah, I have. Yeah, I've seen it. It looks awful.
There's a maze on the floor, and there's a woman running around. They've got sort of a weird kind of coat on with. I don't know if they're sensors on. They are running on a Pac-Man maze, aren't they?
Yeah.
And the monsters are actually characters on the floor, like a weird kind of a video on the floor, projected on the floor. I'll shut up now.
Yeah, it doesn't do it for me, I'm afraid.
No.
What's this interesting top 10 arcade games of 1980 and 1989?
Yeah, that's just something to have a look at. I always look at these and think, oh, it's rubbish that. But this one, I quite agree with. I think he's got it bang on some of them, like especially 1980, like Mooncrester, Defender, Galaxian, or might have been 79 Galaxian. But I think this is quite a good list. Normally, I think they're rubbish, them lists. But I'll put a link in the no shows for that list.
Yeah.
Podcast pickups.
Podcast pickups. What have you been picking up, Shaun?
Oof. I've been picking up myself off the floor after being kicked in the stomach off Krav Maga. Didn't you know, if you're off balance, I was off balance and I was holding a shield, and a guy stands in the middle, he punches, kicks, and he kicked me in the shield, and I was just off balance, I was flying back. I said, "Are you all right? I said, "Yeah, I'm fine." Oh dear, hang on.
Oh, it's good to see you getting back into that again.
Yeah, it's great. Yeah, you forget how, because I've been doing like the workouts at home for a year. You forget how physically intensive it is. It really is. Yeah, it's great for a couple of hours a night, twice a week. It's brilliant.
Twice a week, yeah, cool. Well, I've been picking up stuff as always.
Dirty Donny. You got another Dirty Donny?
Dirty Donny again. Dirty Donny. Now, I don't know if I spoke about this on the last podcast, but he put up a limited edition. He was only going to do 50 of these posters and they were going to be signed. Not that it bothers me, but it was a lovely arcade UV reflective poster. And I just thought, I've got one more space in my games room for one of his posters because they look so cool in here. Because everything is black, they just pop. They pop like they're lit up. They just look amazing. So I bought this poster. I think it was about $30 or $40, and it arrived, and the tube was completely ripped. I thought, oh no. So I opened it up, and the poster was like someone had torn it all the way down the middle. It was completely ripped. And this was, 3 weeks ago? So I sent him an email, no reply. Sent him 4 emails, he never replied. And I said to Whitney, this is unlike him. He's always been pretty good. He said, well, try Facebook. So I contacted him on Facebook. He sent me a message straight away, apologised, and sent me a new poster out. And it arrived a couple of days ago. I opened it up, and not only was the poster I bought in there, but he put an extra one in there as well, which I thought was brilliant.
What did he put
in?
Really
good. He put another a Tempest UV blacklight poster in there as well, which I don't have space for. But yeah, I'll probably give it away to one of my mates or something. But yeah, that was really cool. So yeah, I've got no more space on my walls now. That's it with the posters. But yeah, Dirty Donny came good in the end.
Well done. You got loads of stuff here, mate.
I know. Well, I haven't spoken about a lot of this. So I've got a Mooncrester cocktail, which actually I haven't bought. This is actually on loan from Adrian, good friend Aid. I've been thinking about a cocktail for ages, but I didn't know whether it was going to fit in here. But I had in my mind, if I had a cocktail, I could also use it as a desk, which I'm using it now as, to put my laptop on. I put a sheet over it, it protects the glass. And it just adds another game for my arcade. And I really got into Mooncrest when I was at the Arcade Archive. I thought, yeah, Aid said, look, just borrow it, see if it fits, see if you like it. You don't have to pay me yet. If you want to buy it later in the year, fine. So I got it in here, and it works really, really well. So I managed to squeeze another arcade game in here. And the most surprising thing about this is because I've got my black light behind me, which is shining on the Dirty Donny posters, it shines on the cocktail, and the whole control panel, to my surprise, is UV reflective.
Oh, wow.
So it all glows. It's the most beautiful control panel on a cocktail I've ever seen.
God.
I never knew that. It's all got UV reflective orange and greens, and you've got the spaceship, you've got the Mooncrester logo and stuff. It looks super cool. So I'm going to try and hold on to this one. So that was nice. Also, I've got to thank Jim at my Pinballs Electronics, who's been a top bloke. He's offered me loads of PCBs just to have on loan, even just to play or make videos of, which I want to do. I want to do videos of these. And he sent me a Taito Dead Connection PCB. Have you heard of that, Shaun?
Is it a shooter?
Yeah,
like
weird looking
crosshair thing.
You're in a sort of like, it looks like you're in a entrance to a hotel or something, just like Dick Tracy running around just blowing people up and stuff. I've never played it, so I don't know. I can't tell you any more than that. But it looks interesting.
Is it like a type of a gun game? I'm not sure.
It is a gun. I don't know. It's not a crosshair. What, you thinking like Operation Wolf? It's not like that.
Right. No.
You've got a little sprite of a character you're playing. But yeah, running upstairs and all this kind of stuff. Look it up. It looks interesting. Anyway, he's let me borrow this. So hopefully I'm going to do a video of that on my channel, which would be super cool. And also he's going to convert one of my Major Havocs to, what was the other game? So not Major Havoc, it was a Tehkan World Cup to Dead Connection. Because I think that's what you can do. You can convert old Tehkan boards, World Cup footballs, to Dead Connections.
Right,
No one wants the second World Cup, but to have that would be pretty cool. So I sent him one of mine, and he's going to do that for me, which is great. There's loads of stuff here. I'll try and be quick. SNES games. I'm still trying to get back a lot of my SNES collection. Super Famicom only box. Castlevania 4. So happy to get that back in the collection. Batman Returns. I love. I've got Toki on the Mega Drive, which I've never played. I've never played it, but I've been watching Tony Riccardi play it, and it looks really, really cool. Have you done that for the podcast?
Yeah, we have. It was a bit of a mixed bag, I think, me and Vic.
Was it?
Yeah. Very weird. Very weird.
Yeah.
It's like horizontal and vertical sections, but I can't remember certain sticking points about it. I can't remember what it was. Yeah, it was just a bit of a weird. There's some weird bits of it that we didn't really gel with. I can't remember what it was. I'm gonna have to look at it. It was a decent enough game. The shooting was okay. It was just that there were some strange things. I'll have to look back into it.
Yeah, I quite fancy it anyway.
Got a mixed review from me and Vic, I think.
Yeah, I pre-ordered BitKit 2. That hasn't arrived yet. I'm really looking forward to that because I've got my little Alka bomber cab working now. Quite like playing the idea of playing old games on that little cabinet, the little cabaret. What else? Vinyl, more vinyl. These are all free. My mum's best friend had a load of vinyl, and she said, "Alex, do you want it?" And I won't go through all of it because there was like 25 albums, but I'll mention 3 standout ones here that I absolutely love, and that's Neil Young, After the Gold Rush, which was his third album, released in 1970. Quite a taste, I guess, but I quite like it. It's kind of country,
Did he
bit
do one
rocky as
called
well.
Harvest?
Yes, classic album.
Yeah, because me and the missus got into that. We had it on in the car for a bit. Heart of Gold's
Yeah.
on it, isn't it?
That's it. Beautiful song.
Yeah.
Beautiful song. So yeah, it's an album I've never listened to, so that was great. You know, I'm a huge fan of Kate Bush. That was in there. Never Forever, which was her third album as well. That was released in 1980. Brilliant album. Love Kate Bush. And Black Sabbath's Paranoid, which I think was their second album, and that was released in 1970. So early albums, but absolute classics. And I've since got some more speakers in my games room because my Neon speakers aren't up to the job of filling this room. And, you know, it sounds incredible in here. So, yeah, got to say a huge thank you to my mum's friend Jilly for giving me those, even though she would never listen to this podcast. But, yeah, really, really cool pickups. But I'll have to report back on the Project Neon because it hasn't arrived yet.
Right, shout-outs.
Friendly shout-outs.
I'm just going to give you a quick shout-out to all the people that have wished me well following my angina diagnosis. I've had a few PMs and even speaking to people at the VAC meet. Yeah, so thank you for everyone. I'm doing well. I'm just the same, which I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing.
You look well. You look fit and healthy, mate.
I am fit and healthy, yeah. I'm still the same weight. I'm still doing the same amount of exercise. I've not had any... I do sometimes feel that tightness in the chest, which I have felt, to be honest, for a long time. And I just thought, oh, I'm cold, or you know, something like that. Or I've just done a bit of exercise. It's a bit of, you know, bit of stress. But that's what it was. So I think I've had it for years. You know,
you could have done, mate. I mean, it might just be old age. One of the things of getting older. That's all.
Yeah.
I wish I could do more exercise. I mean, I used to go swimming, but the thought of going swimming in the winter just doesn't appeal to me. So, but I do like walking. And last week I went on an epic walk and got completely lost. And it was freezing cold, driving rain, but for somehow I was enjoying it. I was really enjoying it. The adrenaline got up, and I was just like, "Oh, this is just amazing, really amazing." I mean, I was right out in the middle of nowhere. I was following some Anglo-Saxon charter because I'm trying to find where all the Roman roads are. And trying to find old English names and name places, because a lot of the Neolithic long barrows were named by the Anglo-Saxons. They were put on the map by the Anglo-Saxons and used as waypoints by the Romans as well to build their roads. And there's loads of that stuff around here. So for me to get out and walk is not that interesting, but for me to get out and walk and find something in history and be a part of it, I just love that. But because it's so dark, time I get home from work, you just can't do it. It has to be at the weekend. So
yeah.
But yeah, I'd love to do more walking if I could. I have to wait for the summer days to come, long hours. But yeah, that's it really. I just want to say a shout out to everyone that came to the UKVAC meet. You're all awesome. It was great to meet everyone. It really, really was. Great turnout. And a shout out to Dirty Donny for sending me an extra poster. And another shout out to Jim at My Pimples Electronics for sending me this PCB on loan so I can play it for a video.
Nice. Right.
Listener feedback.
We have a load of feedback again. Thank you, everybody. This is really good. First one from Simon Perry, 8569. Loving Demon Front, great suggestion, but I can't help thinking of that advert, Now With Wings.
What, the Red Bull one?
Yeah, because the guy flies, doesn't he?
Yeah. Cool game that was. Retro Hulkster or Rogie. Jaffa Cakes are cakes. That settles that age-old topic for discussion. Brilliant.
Dave Repairs. I think this is a guy that works at Time Warp repairing the cabs.
It is.
Yeah. Found my next security guards for the next event we organise. Ye are Chop Suey. Is that me and you? Don't know.
Yeah. Well, I've been kind of in talks with Stuart at Time Warp Arcade for the next UKVAC meet because we'd like to move it around.
Oh, that'd be
So
brilliant.
other people in different parts of the region can attend. Because, it's quite a long way if you're in Cornwall, right, to go to Arcade Club. So, we're going to organise that hopefully for the spring. Maybe do 2 meets next year. Do Time Warp and then somewhere else. But, I'm on it. I'm on the case and me and Stuart are talking about it at the moment. So that'd be cool. We've got a feedback here from David. Retro Games Played Badly. Great YouTube channel. If you're into your specky stuff, he's just bought a cocktail arcade machine as well, which is really cool. You're keeping me company at work again, spending more time with you lately than my wife. Oh dear, Dave, you can't be doing that. Altered Beast is awful.
Talks about.
Does
that,
anyone like Coldplay? No. As I recall, the baddies in New Zealand story don't kill you when you touch them either. As you mentioned, it takes something getting used to. Don't mention hit squads. They nearly killed me. So he's got a complete hit squad collection on the Sinclair Spectrum. And after watching his channel for a few years now, some of them are quite expensive.
What, cassettes?
Yeah. Because they're numbered. And because they're numbered, you have to have a complete collection, right? And good old Dave there, he's gone for it and got them all.
God.
And to end that, he just says, great podcast. Thumbs up.
Thank you, mate. We've got one here from the K-Lide Gamer channel. K-Lide. Lovely game, this, run about Demon Front again. Although I do prefer Metal Slug's simpler gameplay and the graphical style more so. Nice.
Andrew Powell. Shaun, I promised I'd start listening, and I have, and wished I'd done it sooner. Demon Front sounds amazing, but I bet it won't be as good as Altered Beast.
Is it him that keeps pushing it?
Yeah, had a fantastic time at UKVAC meet and was good to see you again along with all the others, old and new. I suppose I better get a main set up and start getting some scores in. Yes, you must. Alex, good seeing and chatting with you again. Looking forward to your next video, mate. Can't wait. Cheers, Andy.
Andy R-Type. What I did before I had a cab, I had one of them tank sticks, which I then swapped for a fight stick in front of a laptop, I think it was at the time, and I just plugged it into there, and I played my MAME games in there. And I got on all right with that before I actually got a cab. That you can do that.
Yeah, you don't.
You can set up a decent as long as you got a decent controller and a decent screen. You can do anything really.
Yeah, you don't have to own a cab to be in the hobby, be part of the community. It's just taking part and just being part of it. That all that matters really. We've got RM Repairs. Take it easy, Shaun. Great podcast, guys. Appreciate your time.
Retro Russ. Hi, Shaun and Alex. Just want to say thanks for signing my 10 pence arcade podcast poster along with Vic at the arcade club meet. It was a great day full of fun and meeting new people and making friends. Thanks, Alex, for setting up the VAC meet. Cheers, guys. Russ.
Oh, he's a top bloke, is Russ. He really is. Really passionate, gets really involved, doesn't he? And he's got a YouTube channel as well, but I can't remember what it's called. Do you remember what it's called, Shaun?
It's called Retro Russ. Does
Is it?
Games a lot.
Yeah. Check it out.
Possibly. I bet that's what it's called.
Yeah. Am I reading this one?
Benny Williams.
No,
Have you missed that? Benny Williams, that's a screenshot. He's got some Cheez-Its snapped cheese and chili. Let's see what all the fuss is about. I replied to him, this is on Twitter. I replied to Ben, he's a good lad. I said, I don't know what that tastes like, but let me know. I had never had one.
No, neither have I. Dr. Gogless here. Inverted commas, please don't let Alex say my name again as Dr. Gogless. Is that right, Shaun?
I think so.
Giggy. Dr. Goggles. Dr. Googles?
Gogless.
Send an email as I have left the bird site for good.
Twitter.
What?
That's Twitter, isn't it?
Oh, yeah, I'm not even on that anymore. I'm so glad I've left Twitter. I never used it much anyway, to be fair. Anyway, he goes on to say, although I have joined Bluesky and I'm spreading the 10 pence score love on there.
Blue Sky, that is.
Sorry?
Blue Sky. It's another app like Twitter.
Yeah, not interested. There seems to be plenty of retro gamers on there, but not many 10p fans, though I note that Vic is on there. That's because we're all here. We're all here. Anyway, Spelunker, I'm posting my score now, as I probably won't play it again. 54,700. I think I can do better, but the delayed jumping annoys me too much. I managed to clear the first stage, but didn't get much further. The game isn't bad, but the number of times I've fallen off the ledge as a jump doesn't happen. It's frustrating. If the jumping was more responsive, I will quite like this game. I think there's a lot more wrong with it than that.
RYGARR, he's fixed his cab now. Sorry to hear about Shaun's health woes, even if they're under control. But like Alex said, it's good to share. Time's catching up with us all, chaps. Look out for ourselves and for each other. In other news, Spelunker, what the actual F he's put.
Oh, it was great to see Alan at the meet. I had a good chat with Alan.
Yeah,
he's such a lovely bloke.
Yeah,
I think he got
quite a good games player as well.
Oh my God! I think he got
Jesus.
2.5 million on RYGARR that day.
God.
Incredible.
Right.
Biscuit review, biscuit review. I don't know about you. Biscuit review.
This is a good one. Have you tried these?
I have.
What do you reckon?
Yes, they're good. Yeah, they're really good.
Fox's fabulous chocolatey indulgent honeycomb creams. That's a mouthful, isn't it? And you will have a mouthful when you put these in your mouth. It's good, that, isn't it? And they're really nice. They're simple, like me, simple but tasty.
There's only one thing I don't like about them, mate, and that's the packaging. Because the way they've put that in those biscuits in that packaging, they've deliberately put them in a plastic to separate them, so there's less in a packet. If they took the plastic out and just rammed loads of biscuits in there, you get more in there.
Get like 30 in,
No one ever thought about that at the factory?
I don't know if there's 6 or 8 in there. I think there's 8.
Not enough. It's not enough.
No, as Vic says, 6 or 8 biscuits. Anything more than that, they're useless. They're crap. So 6 or 8 biscuits is a mark of quality, and these are quality, really good. If you want some of them, kids, I'll put a picture in, and I've got shares in Foxes. So every pack of biscuits you buy, I get like £1.
They make Glacier fruits as well. Do you remember Fox's Glacier fruits?
Maybe.
And Glacier mints. Glacier mints. They look like little glaciers. Yeah. I choked on one of them when I was a kid. Yeah, it got stuck in my throat. Because my nan she gave them to me. This was back in the 80s when boiled sweets were huge. Great big bloody things that the kids used to suck on for ages. And I remember it slipped, because they're really smooth. It just slipped down and got stuck in my throat. Couldn't breathe and started panicking. And just luckily my dad came in and literally grabbed me by the ankles, pulled me upside down, started whacking me on the back, and it just flew out onto the floor. But I'll never forget that, because poor old Nan, she was hysterical, with worry.
I remember a very similar story with my brother. He was choking on a sweet. I mean, that with my nan and granddad. My mum was out shopping, because we used to stop while my mum weren't shopping. And he started choking my brother, and my granddad turned him upside down, whacked him on his back. And they weren't coming out. And my nan, who was normally like really like a scaredy cat, kind of like worries about anything, she calm as anything. She put her hand in his throat, like, and pulled the sweet out. Put her fingers down, as calm as anything. That's after my granddad turned him upside down. And I never forget that, because it kind of saved his life, I think.
Could have bit her hand off.
Yeah.
That's
one of them vivid memories that I can't Can't remember.
I think,
forget.
when you're in that situation, you'll do anything to save someone.
Yeah, it's
You don't even think about it. You just do it, don't you?
yeah, like my nan, who's always been very worried and scared, and
Yeah.
she just went really calm and just hand down the throat, pulled it out.
Yeah.
My granddad, like, I think he broke a few ribs banging, stiffing him
Yeah.
upside down. He didn't, but yeah, isn't that
Yeah.
amazing?
Well, it's like my dad. He just came in, no hesitation, just lifted me up by the ankles and whacked me on the back. Didn't even think about it, just done it. It's just a natural reaction, I think, an instinct that we've all got,
Yeah.
But yeah. Right, Shaun.
Feature game review.
Featured game review.
It's my pick this week, and
Yeah.
you sure you didn't pick it?
I didn't pick this, mate.
Are you
No,
sure this is
I
what-
would
this is
never, ever pick something like this. But I guess, from such a great game like Demon Front, the only way is down. And we really went down. We went to the bottom of the barrel. And you scraped it, mate, didn't you? You scraped that barrel. And what did you find? Spelunker.
Spelunker. Goodness me. The video
my
looked good. I put a video there. It looked really good. It looked like a game. I don't know what happened, though. The gameplay is
No.
not good. Right, Spelunker was released, god damn it, in an arcade in February. In one arcade, I hope. In February 1986. What music was we listening to in February 1986? I've struggled with this, but I've remembered, right, before the UK went mad on acid house music, which was 1987, there was proto house music. There was stuff before it, and this Adonis No Way Back 12-inch. It's like a just a beat, a bass line, some scary vocals, some nice hi hats, a nice sort of scary. And I remembered it, and it's February '86. I think it's February. It might be March, but that was a 12-inch, and I played it to death. And the B-side was an instrumental with no voices on it. So it's just, I think it was 120 BPM, bass line, beat, scary vocals, and it just really got me. It's like before, I think a year later, Acid House was born, and they took this like minimal sound and created all this bleepy. I hope we do a 1987. I hope we do a 1987 game.
I'm sure we will.
I'll run-
Have you listened to this track since?
Yeah, I've just listened to it on YouTube. It sounds very minimal, really, which I like that kind of stuff. I like that kind of stuff.
Yeah. Oh, I wasn't aware. I wouldn't have been into that type. I was still into sort of, I say chart music because my mum always had the radio on. My dad always had the radio on, so I listened to a lot of music. But I remember this time of year, February 1986. So this was the year before I left school. This was my last year at school. And I remember I was doing a paper round. I had 2 paper rounds before I went to school. And then on a Saturday I did a milk round. So I think I was probably making about 20 quid a week, which was enough for me to buy a video game. And I remember I was buying cassettes and vinyl as well. Because I remember buying Iron Maiden's Somewhere in Time. I love the album cover, and that is probably my favourite Iron Maiden album of all time. I think it's got the best track listing on there. Although I didn't see him on that tour, I saw him the year after. That is probably my favourite Maiden album. I love that album. Queen, Kind of Magic, I think was coming off the back of the Highlander film, which was probably a year before.
Do you know,
I think that's the soundtrack to that.
That's weird, because we watched that last week, Highlander.
Did you?
Yeah, we watched
It's a
it.
great movie, isn't it?
Yeah,
Did it hold up today? I haven't seen it for years.
It is pretty good, yeah. It's still got the atmosphere, because there's a lot of Queen tracks in it. It was 3 or 4.
Yes.
And he's got such a powerful voice as Freddie Mercury, not Eddie Mercury, Freddie Mercury.
Yeah.
Such a powerful character.
I think 86 is a good year for video games, music. I really do. I mean, obviously it was quite a magical year for me. And I remember that year, I was my last year at school, because we were the last year of boys. Mine was all boys school. They introduced the girls into the first and second year, but mine was the last year of all boys, and the last year of corporal punishment. So corporal punishment was abolished in 1986. So mine was the last year of kids that had that. So we were still getting the cane. I remember getting the cane for letting a stink bomb off in the French lesson. That was the only time I got it, though. I mean, I wasn't really a naughty kid at school, but I remember getting the cane for that. Just they thought nothing of it back then. So quite a year for me that. And what else was I listening to? Peter Gabriel's So. That's a fantastic album. Still great classic album today. Of course, you've got Kate Bush on there. The duet he does with Kate Bush. You've got Sledgehammer, great pop song with an awesome bass line by Tony Levin. Great pop album. Really, really cool. So yeah, fantastic year. Some fantastic music, but unfortunately this game doesn't come anywhere near it. But you can tell them about that, Shaun.
Isn't it weird how we've got so different musical tastes, haven't we? So like polarizingly different musical tastes. But it don't matter because we're good friends and we've bonded through the love of arcade games that bond people like a glue of friendship.
Yeah, I mean, sure, there's people that listen to this podcast would have heard of what you're listening to and what I've been listening to. So hopefully we're appealing to a few people out there. Bring it, and what we're trying to do is just bring that nostalgia back. Because I think for me, music is like a time machine. You can play a track, even if you didn't like it back in the day, it will take you to a certain place in time where you heard that. I mean, I remember listening to Culture Club. Someone had bought a jukebox on the radio. I was on my way back from Games Workshop in Hammersmith, and Culture Club came on, and I hated them. But whenever I hear that track now, it takes me back to that Saturday, going to Games Workshop, picking up my Citadel miniatures, and coming back home again with my mates. And that's what it does. It's a time machine. So hopefully we're doing that for you today with the games and the music, guys.
Yeah, I was clubbing sort of when I was about 17, 18, and like the music, like Luther Vandross and Joyce Sims, that was a good one.
Come Into My Life.
That's it, and all them ones. And I went down a YouTube rabbit hole a couple of years ago, and all these songs, because they were played so much in the club I went to, you sort of quite liked them, you know. Yeah.
I remember coming to my life because me and my mate Sid were proper metalers, proper gothics. We hated that. And we always associated that song with sort of like the Daves or the Darrens of the world. With, you remember the Ford Cortinas where they had their name over the top, like Del and Rodney had, right?
Yeah.
And the furry dice. And the guy tapping on the roof to Come Into My Life with Joyce Sims. We always associated that song with those type of characters.
God, they were good. They were nostalgic songs for me. I never liked them, but you're still dancing to them, aren't you? Anyway, we better get on to what were we on about?
We
games.
better.
Released by IREM was Spelunker, licensed from Broderbund. It's an IREM M62 hardware game. I had a look at other games on this hardware because I thought it might be pants, but it's not. Kung Fu Master was made on it, and one of my favourites, Horizon, in brackets.
That surprises me. Out of all of that it's an IREM game.
Moon Patrol 2. Yeah. Controlled with an 8-way stick and 2 buttons. Shoot stuff and bomb rocks is button 1, and jump if you can is button 2. Right. Originally released in 1983. This is a 1986 game for the Atari 8-bit system and developed by Timothy G. Martin. Shame on you, Timothy G. Martin, of Micrographic Image. You are Spelunker, which means someone who studies caves. You must start at the cave's top, which is depth 0, and get to the bottom with the treasure. I think it's 66238 at the bottom. 628, 6,200 minutes, something like that. You do this by working your way down through a number of multi-directional scrolling caves, each one deeper underground than the last, to find the mythical world of wonders. I found this. There's sort of little end bits where you sort of complete a part of a cave, and then you go through a little like a pyramid kind of thing and come out somewhere else. It's one part. It's also one part of the same screen. It's always scrolling down. Use ladders, ropes, lifts, mini carts, minecarts, Valium to get round the place. Find a key, clear the rocks, get some treasure, drink some vodka. If you can be asked, then get out of there. Stuff that can kill you. This is a long list. Orange bats, use your gun to shoot them. Green ghosts, use your gun to shoot them, but they keep coming back. Brown flying beetle things, use your gun to shoot them. I think I copy and pasted this. Cyan worms, they can only stun, you can't kill them. Big ogres with horns, they're kind of like end of level bodies that baddies them. Multiple shots to kill. Fire kills you, bombs kills you. You set a bomb off, right, to blow up a big rock.
Yeah.
And if you've got to get well out like half the screen away, or you get killed in the explosion.
It's ridiculous.
Stuff to collect, treasure for bonus points, keys to open doors, bombs to clear rocks, chainsaw to kill the people that created it. No, that's bad. Air canisters, to breathe, or you be dead. Okay, now for the annoying bits. that's not annoying enough.
It's a long list.
Getting stunned after falling 2 millimeters off a platform. You spin round, don't you? Or a ledge. Just, you can understand if you fall off a big cliff and you're stunned, but you just fall off a little bit. The annoying AI of the pink bats that dive bomb you. This reminds me of Peter Packrat's AI. You know, that's really cruel AI. How shooting a lot of bad guys only stuns them and not kills them. Unfair baddie placement. Like you're coming down in a minecart and there's a guy like spitting fire at you at the bottom, hitting your head on the roof a lot. Right, we're nearly done, kids. Hold on. You get a kind of well done, game complete message. This is what it says. Now you've learned of legend really exists. You are one of the bravest spelunkers. People expect your success in the great underground adventure. Challenge the game again and make sure you get to the world of legend. So it puts you right at the back of the cave again. You got to start again, which is not a thing. There were sequels to this, and some of them probably ironed out a few of the things. Spelunker 2 on the Famicom, Spelunker HD in 2009 on the PlayStation 3, Spelunker World on the PlayStation 4 and PlayStation Vita in 2015, Spelunker Party released on the Nintendo Switch in 2017. This game focused on cooperative multiplayer gameplay, letting players team up to tackle the cave challenges together. It included various levels, items and customizations. Each iteration of the game attempted to maintain its original spirit while making it better, which wasn't hard to do. Despite these updates, I'm not going to read the rest of that. Because it's crap. Right, play these games instead. I really got into this one a few years ago. Desmond's Dungeon on the Atari 800. I had it on an emulator. I loved that game. Super Bagman, not the original Bagman. Super Bagman.
They had that in my arcade. Super Bagman.
And Babaluke no Densetsu, which we discovered on the podcast. Really good platform game. And Hero. I like the Commodore 64 one. I think it originated on the Atari VCS. The C64 one I loved.
I played a game called quite similar called Gilligan's Gold. On the Spectrum. That was quite good. But yeah, Hero, all of those are probably better than this game. But yeah, I'm quite surprised that you said it was would you say it was a sequel? Oh, it was originally released in 1983 on the Atari 8-bit systems. It makes sense. It doesn't feel like an arcade game.
No.
I don't know what it is, but yeah, it doesn't look like arcade graphics to me. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Right. How many 10p's would you put in this one, mate?
Well, I would have tried not to put any in it. I would have watched you play it and then just walked away. So yeah, 0. Because I have to say 0, mate. Because I'd say 1. You have to put 1 in it to see what the game's like, right? So I put 1 in it, which I did. I played it for a couple of hours. I tried and tried and tried, but the most annoying thing about that game was hitting my head all the time. You know, and I've played a lot of platform games, and it just didn't feel right. It felt really clunky. annoying, frustrating. The only thing I did like about the game was a little animation when he fell, when he opened his umbrella. I thought that was kind of cute. But other than that, the music's awful. The monsters that keep reappearing all the time. And those fire pits, I couldn't just get over them. Struggled. You have to be like pixel perfect to jump over them.
Yeah.
You know, I just didn't get on with it at all. So 1 for me.
And the mine carts as well, with the fire coming down from the mine carts, trying to get past them.
Yeah.
Yeah, terrible game. I'm very sorry, listeners, that I had to put you through this. Hopefully, on this last final game of the year, we will invigorate you.
Put that right. We'll put it right with this next one. Yeah.
High score countdown.
Right, you're at the bottom with 1 point.
Yeah.
Because you kind of played it. I think you must have got a few thousand if you got to the bottom of the level. Retro Rex, hello, festive greetings to you both. I may start by thanking you both for continuing this podcast post episode 200 and Vic's well-deserved retirement. It's been great to hear the new incorrect announcer. We haven't put him on today because Vic was very incorrect anyway. And also, great to see you so much retain the previous format. Spelunker will remain a mystery to me. On all of my devices, handheld consoles, and my Pandora's box, the ROM was missing. I messaged him.
Yeah.
Is he getting the spelling right? Because the ROM is Spelunker. Because main gaming conventions are just 8 characters. There's 1 character missing in Spelunker. I think it's Spelunk R, I think. On all my devices, I couldn't find it. I think he's messaged me again. He's found it.
Right.
Yeah. Please accept my score of 0.
I accept that 100% because I got exactly the same. And now you feel. Right. Adam Flint with 1 point, 8,400. Shaun and Alex, regarding Spelunker, I should really love this game. It's a platformer. It's got secrets. It's got a cameo from Slimer from Ghostbusters, but the controls are killing me. In Chucky Egg, I can leap across whole screens onto the tiniest of platforms, but I'm damned if this Spelunker will hop off a platform onto an adjacent rock without falling off the edge. Most likely straight onto a monster, which even if I kill, is going to respawn right on top of me. In order to preserve my sanity, please accept that I have played this game and give me my 1 point. I'm going to rescue some pleasure from this experience, but by continuing crediting my way to the end instead of raging at the lottery of pressing the jump button during a high score run. By way of evidence, I submit a screenshot of my Spelunker plummeting down another cavern. I'm totally with you there, Adam. I mean, Chucky Egg on the Sinclair Spectrum. You know, the good old little Specky produces one of the best platform games ever made, in my opinion. Should have been an arcade game, Chucky Egg. It was that good.
Do you know there's loads of different Chucky Eggs on different platforms like BBC, Commodore, and they're all pretty good, you know. They're all pretty good.
Yeah,
I
I played both back in the day. The BBC's probably my favourite. But yeah, classic, absolute classic.
Jason J. Ping Barber, 13,000. Did you know there was a show in the 90s called Spelunking with Macaulay Culkin? Only one go. Spelunky's junk, bunk, and it stunk.
Yeah.
No, I didn't know that.
Basil the Sane, 1 point with 16,900. Didn't even get on the high score table. Brutal. Graphics a bit BBC micro-ish. Controls a bit too flanky for me. See, he spotted it. The graphics don't feel like arcade graphics, do they?
No, they don't. No. So, Mark What No Gravy, 1 point, 21,000.
Zestora, 1 point with 22,600.
Me, I did put I always say I put an hour in a game. I've got to put an hour in because I've picked it. I struggle to get an hour on this. I've just put 25,500 for me.
Yeah. Ross, 1 point with 26,700.
Mr. Messi, we met him at Revival. Good lad. 43,300. I think Oliver Hardy can best sum up my feelings towards whoever picked this one. And he puts a clip. He puts a clip of Laurel and Hardy where Laurel's saying to Hardy, no, Hardy's saying to Laurel, I have nothing to say.
Classic.
I loved them. I got my lad into I got my lad into liking them, you know. When he was a little boy, yeah, I got all the VCSs and he loved them.
That's all we watched when we were kids. Harold Lloyd, do you remember Harold Lloyd as well? And Laurel and Hardy on a Saturday morning before, I think it was before Swap Shop or Tiz was. It was on one of those channels. Yeah. But I used to love it. It was great. I loved my favourite Laurel and Hardy is the one where he locks Laurel on the boat. Do you remember? And he's stuck behind that post and he's trying to get out. He's got his head stuck behind the post. Do you remember that one?
No.
Or the one where they're trying to get the piano up the stairs. Oh, so good.
There's one where Laurel was trying to sort of bottle moonshine, and he like sucks the tube up and then puts the moonshine that comes out in the bottles. So he's sucking the tube up. He has a little taste of the moonshine, then puts it in a bottle, and he's gradually getting more drunk. And
I've seen that.
He's waving this tube around. It's just like 2 minutes of comedy. There's no sound. There's no speaking. Classic. It's 2 minutes of comedy. Visual genius. Right, Ross is back. Hello, Ross. He's got 26,700.
Oh, we done him, didn't we?
Oh, we did. Sorry, I got too carried away.
Yeah, 8 SKYWAY, 73. 1 point with 51,800. Couldn't face playing Spelunker much. The clunky controls and grating music didn't help. I went back a couple of times and just hated it more. I'm the same. Felt exactly the same, mate.
Dr. Dr. G. Oggles. Dr. G. Oggles got 2 points. He's going to go mad. 54,700. Please don't let Alex call me that. Oh, we've already read this out.
Yes.
So, there you go, Mr. G. Oggles. I'm sorry, mate. We are sorry. You know, it's only for fun.
It's all fun and games, yeah. I should put my goggles on, shouldn't I, to read this, because I don't read it right. Brian Haribo, 3 points with 75,300. Brian's high score table submission is a ass.
He put bum on his own. RYGARR! He's only got 4 points. He's normally at the top. 94,300. Had a stinker of the week at work, but somehow found the time for a few more games with this month's 10p score. Kind of wish I hadn't bothered. Level design and sound are poor. Gameplay is weak. Enemy dynamics are unfair. Even the name is sounds like a turd dropping in a pan. Spelunker. Yeah, he's right, isn't he?
Brilliant. Oh, we got Mr. 20 to 5. 5 points with 99,900. So much promised, so little delivered. I'm ashamed. I went back for another go, you filth.
Sal Bug, who notoriously likes janky games, 6 points with 101,300. He's put love this game. Yes, the music gets old really quick. Yes, the little rocks breathe fire can be annoying as F. Yes, the collision detection is janky at times, but how can you not adore the little dude in a hard hat? I love the overall theme of exploring caves, climbing ladders, riding elevators, etc., and collecting golden treasures. Even though it's a pattern game, it probably is, isn't it? That can be memorised. I still find it challenging to get through the levels, and I still haven't managed to get past one spot in particular, but I will keep trying. Whoever chose this one, great choice. Sal, mate, he loves janky games. He does.
Does he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's good.
I guess it's down to pay, but I think you've got to have a certain amount of patience for this game. And I didn't have any. Who have we got next? Pingy?
Pingy.
Pingy.
He's one of Charlie Farr's mates. They stream together.
Pingy HJO. 7 points with 107,600.
Old man Steve is so old and he's called Steve. 8 points, 120,700. I got a strong load runner vibes from this game. Yeah, actually. Nice finding secrets, but the end is not worth battling the janky controls. Firing is slow and aiming is everything. Plumes of fire would randomly kill you when they shouldn't. So what next? A shooter? Oh, I think you might be pleased, Steve. I think you might be pleased.
Yeah.
In second place is Jimmy with 9 points, 153,100. I'm stopping at this score. Initial impressions were promising, a reasonably good-looking platformer, but a few games in and the joy turns to pain. You could excuse the limitations if it was just a budget 8-bit home computer, but come on, This is 1986 lease. WTF?
100%. He's right on that. One Punch Ron at the top with 10 points, 258,200, and a 1cc. Really? Loops after the 4th level, so I ran out of energy just before the end of the 1st level, 2nd time round. Putting it to bed now. Mission accomplished.
Well done, mate. Is the Wing Chun expert in?
Wow. Yeah,
that's
well,
amazing.
If any man's going to complete this game, it's going to be One Punch Ron.
So, let's have a look at the scores. These are the end of year scores, really, because we're going to do another one. We're going to do another game, but because it's now middle of December, isn't it? So the next game we're doing will go into 2025, so that'll be the first game of 2025. So this was the last game of 2024. So we've got the final league standings here.
Wow.
So RYGARR, for the 4th year running, is first with 90,
well done.
90 points. SKYWAY is, for the 2nd year running, is second for 74 points. Mr. Berserker is third with 60 points, even though he hasn't played the last few games. He's playing another. He's playing in another competition called MGL or something. It's a worldwide thing, MGL something. Where you play 5 games at once and it's a scores from them. So well done, mate. You are third. Salbug, 4th, 44,000. Sorry. No, that's a lot of points, that. 44 points. He played all 12 games. He is Jimmy. 40 points is, hang on. 6th, no, 7th. Oh, God, I don't know. One Punch Ron is next, 30 points. Ross is the same with 30 points. Me with 27 points. I think that's just, I was getting 2 points a game, I think. 3 points because I played all 12. Eastwood 71, 19 points. Old Man Steve, 18 points. J. Ping Barber, 17. Adam Flint and Brian Haribo on 16 points. This is just the top 20. Alex, yourself, Alex.
I know. Well, considering I came in, when did I join the podcast? Summer, was it?
Yeah. Got 15 points and through 5 games. MMB, he's only played 2 games. He's got 15 points. Mr. Messi, 13 points, and Zestor with 13 points. I'll put the full league scores on the website. But well played, everyone. That is, I've just realised, that is the last one we're going to do this year. So that's the final scores.
Well done, everyone, and thanks for taking part, because that's what it's about. It's a bit of fun, and really, it's all about playing games that we've never really had the time to put into, or games that we've never played before. And there's just so many more. We were talking about this the other day, Shaun, weren't we? We could go on for another lifetime doing this podcast, because there's thousands of games, isn't there? Thousands of games.
Yeah.
So there's plenty of other good ones to do. I was going to ask you, Shaun, have you done any fighters on the podcast before? Can you do fighters? You can, because you get points for fighters, don't you?
We've done Waku Waku 7.
Yeah.
Just recently. It's quite...
Yeah.
That one did have points, so that's why we chose it, and Vic likes it.
Yeah.
I got quite into
some of the Neo Geo ones have points. Yeah. So maybe we'll do one of those next year.
Yeah, could do, yeah.
That'd be good. Yeah, that'd be good. But next show's game...
This is your pick.
It was my pick. And I picked this one out because I found this PCB in amongst all of those ones I picked up from Scotland. And I'd never heard of it before. and I haven't played it yet. It's called Vapor Trail. It's by Data East, 1989. The ROM is VAP. Should I just spell it out? VAPORTRA. VAP. How do you pronounce that, Shaun?
Vaportra, isn't it? Victor
Vaportra.
Alpha Papa, Oscar Romeo Tango Romeo Alpha.
And it's World Revision 1. Lives
is
free.
That's the default.
Is it?
Yeah.
Difficulty normal. Extra lives at 200k and 600k. These are all default settings, and it is a vertical shooter.
Woo!
And what I've seen of it so far, it looks pretty damn cool.
Yeah, with right, deadline for scores is now 18th of January 2025, which is a Saturday, 5 p.m. So you got a month to play it. So get on to that, kids. Play it over Christmas, and we will have a Christmas special coming for you as well.
Yeah.
Are we going to say what it is? Or
yeah, we can say what it is. Get people interested because, as part of the podcast now, it's been quite good interviewing people in the hobby, or who have something to do, or have created something within the hobby. And I thought it would be a good idea to get Oliver Mosesi on to talk about raids, because he's been collecting for years now. Old school VACer, and he's been on loads of raids. I've been on a few of them with him, and I just thought it'd be a fascinating listen, and it is, because we've recorded it, hearing about all the raids that he's done and all the different arcade machines that he's picked up. It's a real treasure trove of stories. So look out for that, guys. That's going to be going out as a Christmas special. I don't know when it's going to go out exactly.
probably a couple of weeks from now, I would guess, sort of sometime over Christmas.
In between Christmas and New Year, maybe?
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
Yeah, that's a good. Maybe Boxing Day or something. I don't know. But yeah, look out for that, guys. It is a Christmas special. There's no high score challenge. It's just arcade goodness, talking about stories and raids that Ollie's been on.
Okay. Well, your scores, kids, you can put them on Twitter, X, hashtag 10pscore, on the Sidekick app in the 10pence Arcade Club section, email biscuits@10pencearcade.com, put them on Facebook, on the Facebook post. You can put them on UKVAC in the podcast feed if you're on there. Also, this goes without saying, no continues allowed, obviously. You can't just credit through it. I will credit through it for a start to get used to it, and then I'll play it properly. So, thanks for listening, kids. Thank you very much for joining us. We really do appreciate it. Thanks for all that feedback again, which is excellent. And
yes, it was. Yeah, thank you, guys. Thanks for listening. Thanks for taking part. And thanks for me welcoming me back onto the podcast. It's great. It's been really, really good, Shaun. It's been a great year.
It has, hasn't it? And maybe 2025 be just as good, if not better.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely.
We can only go from strength to strength, as Vic says, or not.
We'll have to get him back on for one more, won't we?
Yeah, he'd tear us to pieces, won't he? He's enjoying his tinkering. He's enjoying his stuff now. I think he really is. Right. Yeah. Thank you very much, kids.
Thanks, guys. Merry Christmas. Have a good one, and a Happy New Year to you all.
Yes, Happy Christmas. See ya. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.